Tell me if you can hear me in the comment section, or tell me something on the comment section if you can hear me. Alright, welcome to my live. Doing this. David Moturi, waiting for 10 a.m. news. Yeah, there's some news today. There's a red folder. So tell me in the comment section if you can hear me loud and clear, so that we can begin our stream. Yeah, I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for everybody to say something in the comment section so that we can start. Everybody, welcome to my stream. So we are having the present people. We have Achi, Win. It's good to have you. It's good to have David Moturi. It's good to have Codney. People have names out here. Wow. And hizo NQs imembao kabla New York Open. Okay. So we have I know there's some music on the background. All right, now I hope there's no music. Uh, no music now, right? Mary Kui. Yes, I can hear. Music is loud, airy stars. All right. So now, if just tell me if the music is not loud right now, if you can hear me loud and clear. Tell me. Say something on the comment section. The music is not playing right now. Let's tell me. You good now? All right. So today we have red folder at 10. That is Jolt's opening. So whenever we have red folder at 10, the 950 macro becomes low probability automatically. So I'm going to start from the weekly time frame to do the analysis on US 30, and then I'm going to be checking Nasdaq. All right, Helly Queer, you're a loyal fan. Welcome to my live. So I expect you guys to be following as we start. I'm going to do my top-down analysis, and so yesterday we said that we always start by looking at price on the high time frame. So we have this external range liquidity. This is external or equal highs that price took out yesterday. So whenever we take some significant high time frame liquidity, we target for opposing side now. We just look for opposing side. Okay, I'm waiting for the rest of the people to tell me if they can hear me. I'm just having very few people on the comment section. I'm waiting for you so that we can be able to have a very participating session. I don't know if it's participating. Forgive my English, but that is it. So we're having the equal highs on US 30 that were taken out. Remember, we have news at 5, which is 9. Is it 10? Sorry. So, just a minute. Just a minute. Someone is calling me. So we have 36 people in our live. Okay, the divas. Okay, Mokoro, Mokoro. You know, I'm Marian, so I made Mokoro loud and clear. Mokuru. So divas, we can hear you. Okay, so we continue. We said that we have news at 10, so we will have to wait for those news to pass. So we've had the New York Open. On weekly time frame, we've seen that the equal highs have been taken out. That is why we're having a very strong sell. This is US 30. So when you drop down to the this is what time frame? This is daily time frame. So you can, what we're supposed to do is if we're supposed to continue lower, I'm supposed to mark previous day high like this. Previous day high there, and then we can have previous day low. So if I want to see a sell continuation from tomorrow, I want to see price taking out previous day low and closing below. So we continue this. So we have not taken any side of liquidity on the on daily time frame. So we are still having an order block over here. And then there's some sell side liquidity over here. Is sell side liquidity. Remember, we're waiting for news. This is sell side liquidity. These are some very nice targets. So okay, was we video umenipigia nikakata because I know you tuned in. So we're here for a learning session. So this is also an order block. You see this on daily. This is the last sell candle before an aggressive buy that took out liquidity. You see the liquidity that was taken out is this is buy side liquidity. So we might have a very strong reaction from the current. This is liquidity. All right, so we have this as liquidity. So this is an order block. You see this. This last buy. I mean this last sell candle before this aggressive buy that took out liquidity. So and then so we're waiting to see if the price will go higher, but I would want to see price maybe take out previous day low and then we go higher. But also we can buy from here according to daily time frame. Remember we said that we trust the high time frame key levels so that we are not low, we don't get lost, so that we don't gamble. If you're trading on the lower time frame, you have to be in line with the high time frame. This is an order block, this is sell liquidity and the previous day low. So remember waiting for news at 5. So what can we see on 4 hours? Remember we can always take trades even on 4 hours time frame. There's nothing on 4 hours. I think we just have to wait and see what happens. This is an order block. You can see the last or a series of down close candles or sell candles before an aggressive buy that took out liquidity. So practically we're supposed to go higher, but there is nothing on 4 hours. That is why we have to wait on. We have to wait and see whatever price has to offer. We don't have a very clear bias. That is why we're waiting for news. Remember, this is the learning session. Not here to offer signals, but I can be of help to make you understand how price behaves. I don't promise to always give signals like we've done the last 2 days. So that is it. This is maybe if I can check on 1 hour time. What do I see? There was some. Look at this. So currently we're in a sell program, as you can see, and we are. This was an order block. I called price yesterday and it was very successful. This is an order block. Price came, got rejected from this level. The last buy candle before an aggressive sell that got into a key level, you see, and it swept liquidity into a key level. So there's resistance around this order block that you see here on this is an OB. So this is the first time it's been mitigated. The second time it's been mitigated. If you check, if you're supposed to support our bullish narrative, because I don't see a very clean price action. What we are having here, let me ignore the order block here. Let's say we are supposed to have some continuation, maybe higher. What you see here is a fair value gap. You see, this is a CB. The sell side inefficiency, buy side imbalance. I don't know how to say it, but it's something like that. It's a fair value gap that is supposed to offer us with resistance to the downside. And instead, what happened? The price came and closed above with the body. That means that the fair value gap has been violated. So I'm going to mark these on 1 hour time frame. Each one, I inversion fair value gap, right? So you can see price has retested this level. You see there was sell side liquidity that was inside the inversion fair value gap the first time we raided the lows, and then yeah, I think we're supposed to go higher because on daily we've seen that we have an order block and something like that. But remember, waiting for red folder at 10 so that you can make a candid decision. So 48 guys locked in. I'm selling you massively. My friend, Billy cannot depend on hope in these financial markets. If you depend on hope, then you're going to be messed up. Don't worry. Then we're having David Moturi. Now I understand what you mean by high time frame analysis for liquidity. Yes, liquidity, if you don't trade from the high time frame, then believe you me, you're messed up. So this is it. I'll ask you you can give likes to my, you can continue post. You can post my link on your social media to maybe make our community big so that you can have many people following our stream. Maybe you can like our live. You can say something on our live, and appreciate that. So I'm going to go to. So you've seen the narrative now. I'm not having a very clear bias right now, but we are currently reacting from H1 key level. You see H1 inversion fair value gap. So let's just wait for news at 10. So I'll be checking Nasdaq right now, Nas 100. And then I'll be going to check gold for some few people who do gold. Or if there are people who do gold, please you can tell me in the comment section so that I don't do it and there's nobody who checks gold. All right, I'm going to check it. So after Nasdaq, oh my God, Nasdaq has been. Oh, Jesus Christ, this is amazing. You can see, you see, after yesterday's buy around the 0.5 level, price still generated some sell-side liquidity inside this key level. If you can see, the key level here is an NWOG, and can be able to explain whatever has been happening on Nasdaq. You can see I can take my gun box like this. I can take my gun box, and then I can see the price reacted from the 0.75 level of the NWOG. You see, so these quadrants key levels, you can use them as key levels to have precision in your trading. So you can see that we had sell side liquidity here inside the key level. Price took it out and then has been rolling up. So if I drop down, so I should start on weekly time frame so that I'm able to say to do the analysis. So you can see on weekly time frame the all-time highs. There's nothing new there. So I'm expecting you guys to say something on the comment section so that I know you're there. So you can say something so that I know you're following. So on weekly time frame, we don't have anything. We can go to daily time frame. We can check. We took out the previous day high, and we're having a very strong buy. This is the previous day high. So if I expect to have bullish conditions, I expect the price to take out previous day high, which it has. Previous day high. It's a previous day high. Yeah. So the price has taken out the previous day high. I don't expect to short whenever I take out the previous day high. I'm supposed to continue. You see, there's a difference between a trend continuation and a reversal. How do you expect a trend continuation? If the price takes out a single swing, it's supposed to have trend continuation. If the price takes out equal highs and equal lows, then we can have the reversal model. You can see on US 30. Let me show you something. The price took out on weekly time frame. The price took out some equal highs, as I've showed you. That is why we're having a very strong sell to the downside. You can see the price is still reacting on bearish. There was some equal. If I check on weekly time frame, you can see there was some buy side liquidity that were like equal highs that were raided. That is why we are selling. You see the equal highs. That is why we're having a sell. So you go back to Nasdaq. So whenever price takes out a single swing, you expect a trend continuation. Whenever price takes out equal highs, you can have a reversal model. So I can go to 4 hours time frame. I know there's nothing there, so it will be tricky to sell right now. Let me tell you that. But if you're supposed to have a buy or any type of a trend continuation, you can have this we call it a breaker in a trend. Okay, Davis says, why is THANOS today on Tuesday? He was supposed to join. If he'll be here, he'll come on the comment section, and then I know he'll say something, and then we're good to have him. No problem. But you focus before he comes. So we have some unfilled fair value gaps here, which can be very nice targets. Remember, you are very bullish on this pair. So we can have this breaker in a trend. You see this last buy candle before an aggressive sell that took out liquidity is an order block. Price comes closes above. See this one is a breaker in a trend. I like calling it breaker in a trend. A trend. These are you catch continuations. So this is also a breaker in a trend. So the price might decide to come down here, fill this fair value gap that is here, and this break, and then we can maybe go higher. So if I go, there's no PDRA to check on high time frame. So if you are supposed to take any buy, it is from here. In the meantime, if I go to 1 minute time frame, there is something I see here. So let's assume because the price has formed a setup, maybe it can buy. But trust me, it can sell. I don't have any confluence as to why price should sell. The only confluence I might have is this setup that has formed. But remember, there is no narrative. I'm just supposed to catch a buy according to how I see it. You see? So for those that ask how to the 2022 model, you can see this is the last buy, the last sell before a buy. So you can call this a breaker. You see, this is a breaker. This is a breaker. You see, what has price done? Price has come and it has closed below the breaker, and then the next candle. So the last sell candle before an aggressive buy that took out liquidity is an order block. Price is supposed to be pushed higher by this, but now it comes and closes below. So automatically this becomes a breaker. So if anyone would sell, they would short from the next candle. You can put your stop loss above the high like that, and then maybe you can target some lows somewhere. But remember, we said I'm still bullish on Nasdaq. I don't have a reason to sell. The only reason I can see to sell is when it forms a setup. But you know, you don't just do a setup without some extra confirmations. You can see that Nasdaq is on its all-time highs, so it's quite tricky. We just have to wait and see what happens. I wouldn't have taken this sell obviously, but if you are supposed to have like a trend continuation thing, let me show you. If you're supposed to have trend continuation, which happens on 950, if you come to 15 minutes time frame, expect the price to form this as a fair value gap and then come retrace and then go higher. But also we have this, you see, this last buy candle before an aggressive sell that took out liquidity into a key level. You see, this one is an order block, is a break actually. So the price might decide to come all the way down here, but in short, I'll not have a very clear bias without the news at 10. So the best thing we can do is just wait and see what happens. Gold is choppy. I was waiting to see if 4 hours will push the market higher on daily. I was bearish. Let me check on gold for you. What you But before I do that, so if I'm supposed to catch any buy, I've told you why I would catch the buy on Nasdaq. But as you can see, the price is currently reacting. It formed a sell setup and it's reacting. So let me take it back where I was tape reading. Yeah, so like that. So remember the setup without a logic means nothing. So even this breaker I would not have taken this sell because it's just based on luck. There's no key level that price has reached because we said before you take a setup, the price must have reached a high time frame key level or stopped some significant level of liquidity. If it's time-based liquidity, you see if it's 4 hours lows or highs, something like that. So the best thing we can just wait and see if price reacts from those key levels I've told you about. So that is it. NAS, there is liquidity at 330 fair value gap. Maybe that trade, yeah, we're just waiting for it to go maybe lower so that we can consider to buy. But if I was to, if those who ask about how to catch setups on lower time frame, this is it. This was a breaker. You can see the price is going lower. You can even target even lower up to here. You see, and then wait and see what happens at 950 macro. Not just 950 because we have news at 10. That is the narrative. So let me go back to US 30. Oh, sorry, the gold. There's someone who asked about gold. I don't trade gold, but I can check it for you. So XAU USD, what a pair. Just a minute. Okay, we continue. Someone said something on Nasdaq. There's liquidity at okay, yeah, we've discussed that. So let me just continue. We have 50 people on live. So let me check US30 before I go to gold because you know that when you check so many pairs, you may get confused. But yeah. Oh yeah, this is it. This is which pair? Shoot. This is US 30. You see price is going bearish. So maybe you can wait for it to take out all this sell side liquidity and then you can decide to buy. So, but you can just wait and see what happens. See, I cannot take a trade, or I cannot take the 950 because we have news in the next few minutes. So we just wait and see what happens. So let me check gold. USD. Okay. So if you'd ask me on gold what I see, the only thing I can see on gold, and actually I put a trade there, not a trade. You see this one. This is like an order block. You see the last couple of buy candles before an aggressive sell that took out sell side liquidity. You see this one now. So you call these ones order blocks. You see these ones here. So they are the ones that are pushing prices lower. The price tapped and then it's going below, and then we have this fair value gap over here that is also pushing prices lower. If you drop down to maybe 1 hour time frame, you'd see there's a reaction over here. Actually 15 minutes, leave alone. Yeah. Actually I had a setup here. If you can see, once the price got into the fair value gap, what happened is it's reacting lower. So I think I can just wait and see what happens. Actually it hit my take profit because after it reached a key level, it formed a breaker. The last buy, the last sell before a buy took out liquidity. Price comes closes below. This is a breaker. You wait for retracement inside, and it's been crashing down. Yeah. So I cannot say something on gold on all these pairs until 10 reaches, so that you can have a very clear bias on whatever thing that is happening. Yeah. So we just wait and see what happens. Dow, Logan, Night Fox, karibu sana Morio Kibana. This is my homie. So Logan Kim, US30, if previous day low taken into daily fair value gap, it could be buys, definitely. So we want to see very nice trades whenever price takes out some significant level of liquidity. Yeah. So Muturi, Dow, you're talking about Dow. Nice has taken out London lows. Yeah, that is time-based liquidity. But remember, we have news in the next few minutes, the next 6 minutes. Yeah, we just have to wait and see. You can say something on the comments section. There are some people who had questions yesterday, and he was not able to answer them on live. So maybe they can ask right now. They're still following. See, Nasdaq has actually hit my take profit on where I would look for anything that looks like a buy. So this is it. Let me even take a picture, and then I'll explain the model on X later. You see, I'll be starting these streams early so that people can see something. So you're talking about London lows, but now the price is reacting, maybe reacting from this. What I've said is a breaker in a trend. You see this last buy candle. So the price has almost hit the 0.5 level, and yeah, let me go to the lower time frame, see what's happening. So I expect the price to, even if there's a, I expect the price to come and read these lows here as a stop hunt, and then form a new setup. Stop hunt. Because we don't have a fair value gap here, this would be our breakup by them. We just wait and see. But I've showed you why the sell has been happening. So even when I check on 4 hours, let me look for another key level that could be here. There's an inversion fair value gap here. This one. So the price could even come down here, but also can react from up here. So the best thing we can do is just wait and see if we can have a trade to buy. As I've said, I would wait for price to take out this sell side liquidity here, and then maybe we can have this as our breaker. We anticipate these last buy candles will become our order block and then become our breaker later on. Okay. Frederick, you're asking about the mentorship. So unless you're good with analysis, that's how you can have the mentorship. Okay, not practically good, unless you have an idea what all these concepts are all about. Forgive my English. So you can check me out on X, and then you can DM me, and then you can talk about that. To be fair, I might be able to assist, and some other times I may not be able to assist. You just have to have terms of understanding. But you can check my videos, you can learn from them, and I believe they'll be helpful to you. So you can DM me on, or you can text me on X, and then you can tell me whatever thing you want to tell me. So we're waiting for the news. Let's see what happens. As I said, I'm waiting for price to come, sweep this low, and maybe form a setup. Otherwise, I would not have a good setup to buy. But the sell happened very well because all these are unfilled fair value gaps that will be targets probably. So that is it. US 30. In the next 3 minutes, we'll have news. So US 30, what is US 30 doing? Yeah, you see the price on US 30 has taken out these lows. These are equal lows here. Let me see if it's going to buy. Equal lows. But I like it to take out all these lows first, and then you can look for buy setup. So, but if there's anything to go by, there's something that has been formed here on US 30. What do you see? I see something like a breaker, not a breaker, an inversion fair value gap. So if we are tape reading price in the next few minutes, see if news are going to respect this. In the next 2 minutes, maybe you can. I know it's going to sweep all these cells, but I can because it's a macro. I can wait and see what happens if it can buy from here. This is just a speculation. See, you're going to have news. That's how you're going to. So I know it's not going to work, but let me just see how the news behave. Normally, I don't trade news. I can't lie to you. So whenever we have news at 10, the 950 to 1010 macro becomes low probability. So we wait for the macros at 1020 to 1040, and then at 1050 to 1110. Yeah. So we've said that whenever we have news at 10, we cannot have the 950 mentorship. We cannot have the 950 macro because it's low probability. 950 macro is like a small kill zone, a 20 minutes kill zone at the end, at the top of the hour. You see, the 950 to 1010, we have the 850 to 910 macro. All these macros are small kill zones that price spools. Price does spooling. So, yeah. Before you take any trade at 930 open, it's a must that price takes out liquidity. Not just at 930 open. Whenever you're taking any trade, if you want to take a trade, wait for price to sweep some significant level of liquidity. Okay, so this is an inversion fair value gap, waiting to see if the news will push prices higher or below. The only reason why I might consider to buy is because it has swept some liquidity here, but because of the news, is low probability. I'm just trading. So remember, the thing is not to give you a setup, but the narrative behind why you should take a trade. So you can say something on the comment section if you want to know anything. I'll be happy to assist. So I don't trade all the macros. So you're now at 10. I don't know if there's no volatility or something. It is on Tuesday. I don't see anything happening, but let's see if price will go higher. Do you take all trades or specific one? I only take like 2 trades per day. So my most favorable macro is this one for 950 to 1010. That's my favorite macro. So if there's nothing that happens at that macro, then I cannot take a trade. So if this one gets 30 pips or something, I'm not sure, but let's just wait and see. But I said, whenever we have news at when we have news at 10 there, 9:50 to 10 macro becomes low probability. So this macro that we are having right now, 9:50 to 10:10, is low probability because of the news that we've had at 10. So we just wait for 10:50 to 11:10. So, but my thing is just to show you how I do it, not to give you a signal. So navigating through the time frames and how to backtest correctly. Okay, let me just tell you, if you know how these concepts work, okay, UGs is saying navigating through the time frames. I think if you were in my life when I was starting out, I showed how I started from the top going to the bottom. You see, I showed you how to start from the top, and then now we are the 1 minute time frame for executions. Okay, so backtesting, you just, let's say if you know you trade order blocks, you just check. I've never even used any backtesting software. The thing is, just you just come to trading view, go to high time frame key levels, mark the order blocks, the fair value gaps, the mitigation blocks, the NOGs, and then see how price reacted when it came there. That is how I would backtest. I don't use any replay tool. So news is lower actually. Yeah, if you say so, there's no much impact, but wait and see. Eric Waroro Kamau, NFP plus tomorrow FOMC mixed. Yes, exactly. Thank you for reminding me this because whenever we have, we say that, let me show you. When we have news in PM session, AM session is low probability. When we have okay, the thing is, day before FOMC, which is today, or when is FOMC? Tomorrow is on Wednesday. Yes, we are having FOMC tomorrow, FOMC statement. So when you have FOMC, day before FOMC, low is low probability. And then we have a day or session, day before NFP. So it can be day or a session before. So this is what makes these sessions low probability, for example, today. So I've given you some of the reasons why. Thank you for reminding me, Eric Waroro Kamau. Thank you very much for reminding me. So we're just waiting to see what happens. So let's check NASDAQ. What's been happening there? And we said if we are supposed to cut any longs, you see now the price has raided this low that I was telling you about. No, not yet. So if it takes out this low and I'm supposed maybe to buy from some key level, I just wait for it to form some setups. So we just have to wait and see. Just be patient. There's nothing that has happened yet. So technically today is low probability for the reasons why. NFP week plus FOMC mix today. Yes, absolutely. This is correct. But still, we still tape trade. What you're doing is tape trading. You're not taking it. We're not taking trades. So if you're desperate to take a trade, I think this is not the way to go. You're supposed to learn, understand the logic behind the trading. Okay. Yeah. So we are having our setup is in play. We're tape trading from the inversion. So we are like 41 pips. So you see that the good thing with these pairs like US30, if you're correct on the move, like few pips, you're good. You've made money. Yeah. So guys, you can tell me something on the comment section. You can ask a question. You can say something. I'm late. Are we selling in Q London Asian laws? MAVEN THANOS, welcome to our live. The thing is, within Q, I have been selling. I was selling, and you see the problem of selling at the time. Yes, it has rated this low that I was selling from here, but I wouldn't have taken the trade obviously because this is a breaker that was formed, and then you enter with the next candle. So if anything, if you're supposed to do any kind of buy right now, I think let's just wait and see what happens. Let's just wait and see what happens. Thanos is late. So let us see. Let us see if price is going to react from this fair value gap that we are having here. Remember, my bias was bullish because you see the problem Nasdaq is at the all-time high, so you never know when it's going to sell. So, but now I'm sure I can try to test this. But remember the macro today is low probability. I have a fair value gap here, and then I have some sell side liquidity that has been raided here. So let me see if it's going to do a setup. So if I can remove all these things and maybe see if a breaker is going to form, and then I see if I can long it. But I have been selling from up here. I just want to see if the buy can happen. So this would be my breaker, this one. Once this candle closes above there, I would call this a breaker. Remember, today is low probability for the reasons I've given you. Tomorrow we are having FOMC statement, so it'll be cooked. So let's see if price does some displacement over here, and then we can have this as our breaker. Then see if we can go higher. This is just a reading. I'm not giving a signal, please. My setup on I think what is it? US30 is playing out very nicely. What I was reading, I didn't take the trade, but it was playing out nicely. You can see it's back at break even. So that's 100. This is just a reading, okay? So the price has formed a breaker here. There's a small displacement here. Let me see if price goes higher. So the reason I'm trying to look for longs is because price has reached a high time frame key level. So let me see if the price longs from here. So I said these are low probability conditions. Remember the macro is ending in 1 minute. So this is just, yeah, not the best price action. I don't expect this setup to play out, but I'm just going to read it. Yeah. So if you have a question, you can ask on the comment section, and then yeah, let's wait and see what happens. So the macro is over. The 950 macro is over. So you're not supposed to take trades outside the macro. So if you take a trade, you see the thing about trading, when we say time and price, this actually means if your setup is not time based, then it is automatically low probability. Okay, so whatever pattern you have, whether it's a breaker or whatever thing that has formed, if it is not in line with high time frame, then you're cooked. No, not high time frame, not at the right time, then you're cooked. That is just the truth. Yeah, you just have to wait for the setup to play out at the right time. So US30 went like 41 pips from where I was longing it, 46 pips. It's back at the entry, but let's just wait and see what happens. So even Nasdaq is playing out nicely. Let's see. Let's see if we crash higher. So let me see how much one would risk here. Let's say from here to here is 18 pips. So maybe for the 2:1 we can check for 36 pips. Maybe up to here. Or even 50 pips. Let's see if it plays out or not. Remember the macro is out. Yeah. So we just wait. We wait. If you have anything to ask on the comment section, we'd be happy to assist. Okay. So if you're risking 18 pips here, then you should be targeting 2:1, which is like 36 pips or 50 pips, depending what type of a trader you are. If you are a scalper like me, but I'm a scalper but I aim for high risk rewards. On US30, sometimes I even go for 200 pips, but not days like today. Yeah. Let's wait and see. So time-based liquidity. You see the London lows and London highs, or the Asian highs, Asian lows. So you see Nasdaq is actually going higher. Let's see if it gets to 30 pips. If it doesn't, that's fine. Buy side liquidity. Let's see. Let's see if it hits this one. Yes. Wait and see what's happening. Let's wait and see what happens. But I will not take a trade today for the reasons I've given you. So there's some people who had questions, Jana. I don't remember their names. Something like Kezia and someone. I don't remember the names exactly. Please, if you can ask those questions right now, it will be fine. THANOS, unauliza kama ulitake a sell. If yes, where? THANOS is going to respond to that. So we have 48 people locked in. Remember, if you have to take a trade, it has to reach a high time frame key level first. That is number one rule. Or sweep some significant level of liquidity. If it has not done either of that, you'll have problems. Okay. So you can see US30 is going higher. Let's see if it gives us 50 pips or 100, that will be okay. But if not, hakuna shida. We don't have problems losing. You can lose. You have to be ready to lose. When is the best time to take a trade on PM sessions? At 1:30 or 2 or mostly on indices? Let me tell you how I do it on indices. The first case is when we have news in PM session like tomorrow. So I would wait for those news to pass the red folder to pass kwanza, and then I can decide to take a trade thereafter. But now, just a minute. Let me plug in my computer. So, you are asking, the question is, So when Paul was asking what is the best time to take a trade on PM session at 1:30 or 2, there's a macro. Let me tell you how I got this information. Don't ask me, but it works for me it works for me often. But let me tell you this: there's a macro that is at 110 to 140. Please don't ask me PM. I have been doing this for close to 2 years. And trust me, I have experience on this and I can even show you the number of trades I've taken. I have gotten reversal. This is a reversal macro. 110 to 140. This macro, I don't know if ICT has listed it or it is not his macro, but I don't follow everything ICT says on letter. But I have traded 110 to 140 macro many times as a reversal macro, and it has given me very good setups. Okay, so that is according to me. I don't have sources to prove my the source of information to do that. MAVEN says I have not taken a trade yet. Was waiting for 10 a.m. news. As you can see, MAVEN as well was not taking the trade for the reasons he has explained. He has not taken a trade because he was waiting for that. So Billy pairs, it's just US 30 and Nasdaq, not any other pair. So let's wait and see what happens. Let me check on Nasdaq, see what's happening there. Best Edeki, I hope you're watching the live. Good morning. My guy from Canada. Yeah, you can see this setup is actually failing, but the price is back at the breaker. I told you this is low probability. So I'll still go back to my US 30. So we don't have an A plus setup on all these pairs. Even US 30, whatever you are seeing here is it's not the best kind of price action I'd love to see. Reasons is because tomorrow we have some news. We have news tomorrow, so today is just low probability. But I'm very grateful for you people for being here to support this stream. I don't take this for granted. Kindly advise on ES variation from the H4 fair value gap. Let me check. But as you can see, US 30 we are crashing higher. I think we are at 50 pips on US 30. Yeah, 50 pips. So that would be good for today. Always grateful for the session. My guy, Anthony Mwangi. Yeah, we've been doing sessions with Anthony. It's good to have you, my guy. I'm happy for you. Buana, there is no macro at 10:45. The macro is at 10:50 to 11:10. Let me answer that. So let me You see, this setup is actually failing, just like I told you. Yeah, you don't have anything meaningful here on Nasdaq. So let me check on high time frame. You see, there are levels I told you about on this pair. See, there's an inversion fair value gap over here, maybe for longs. Even this one is supposed to push prices higher, but we will just wait and see. We can only be patient and wait and see. Yes. And then the problem with Nasdaq, when it's at the all-time high, it becomes very tricky to sell. You can't just sell because you're seeing a breaker. You'll be cooked. Yes, this is a breaker, but now there's no extra confirmations because prices are the all-time highs. So the best thing you can do is just maybe wait for price to shift, maybe on 1 hour time frame. You see this one, if it closes below here, we are going to have a breaker. These last sell candles before this aggressive buy. This will be a very beautiful breaker. And then maybe we can wait for price to react from that. But we have to wait for extra confirmations, just to be clear. Yeah. So that is what I'm just waiting for. Okay. Nice breakdown. Okay, smart entry trader. Okay. THANOS, if you are to buy Nasdaq, please would you tell them where you'd buy it from? Which key level? And then I identify it for them, because I wouldn't. This is the only attempt I would try. I had, because it had took out some sell side liquidity. But if anything to go by would be this inversion down here, or the breaker in a trend. But remember today is the day before FOMC. So that makes it low probability. Nice entry. NAS have been selling. Watching the London lows and Asian probability entry to New York launch. Okay. I wouldn't sell. I wouldn't sell Nasdaq at the time, because I wouldn't have confluence as to why I would sell. Yes, there is a setup formed, but now, you don't just follow a setup without logic, because it's at the all-time highs. Smart entry trader, what's your take on gold? Smart entry is being asked what is his take on gold. So we just wait and see what happens here. Let me check US30 what's happening. Okay. So it just got 50 pips and there's nothing else going on. Yeah, let's wait and see. You see, I'm not the best person to give advice on gold, because honestly, that's not I don't have expertise on gold. I can always check for you, but I don't have expertise on gold. So smart entry, Lisa, what's your take on gold? But I don't mind looking at it, because today is low probability for me. Let me check for you, tell you what's happening or what I can see. So, okay, my setup worked very well, but now let me check for you on a 1 hour time frame. So I know there are some people who are buying, and why they are buying. Let me tell you why. So if you look here, there was some sell side liquidity that was down here. So what happens if price takes out some significant level of liquidity? This is a low inside this order block. You see, this is the last sell, or a series of sell candles before all this buy that went up. So the price rated this sell side liquidity. That's why we are experiencing a buy. So if you go on 4 hours time frame, there is the price has not confirmed bullish exactly, because you can see this candle has closed inside. No, slightly outside. Okay. But look at this retracement. This would kill you. So maybe if you go on 1 hour time frame, this is a very choppy price action. I wouldn't assist anyone on this. So I think this is not my area. Let me just focus on the pairs I am sure of. Okay, that is it. Okay. Life of Novera. Welcome back. For NAS, I would consider buy at the inversion. It's in the discount, I think. Yes, on there's a the inversion I've also marked on Nasdaq. There's an inversion on Nasdaq. Yes, there's an inversion fee available on Nasdaq as well. See, this one, the one that I've marked down here. This is the inversion. That would be the best place to try to buy it. Yeah, that would be the best maybe key level to buy it. It's down here. But if it doesn't buy, we have to just wait, see what happens. Yeah. So check what you guys are saying in the comment section. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me show you what I'm going to do. So let me see if I can give THANOS the link. And he can talk to you in this. THANOS, I've sent the link on your DM. THANOS, you can check the link on your DM. Sent it. So I'm just, I think I don't have anything else on these pairs. You see, US30 has gone like 50 pips. That would be my trade for today. But remember, the best trades comes at 10:50 to 11:10. Whenever we had news at that time that I've told you about. Okay. THANOS. I'm waiting. Okay, okay.
Yes, can you hear me? Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
So we are waiting for Thanos. I don't know if he's audible. I don't know if he's speaking. Someone can tell me.
Is it presenting?
Please, can you tell me in the comment section if he's speaking because I can't listen to my stream. So I'm going to remove my my presentation.
Is my screen visible? So I took a sell on Nasdaq. Unfortunately, I was not able to get live on time. I got home late, so I'm only going to explain the narrative behind this trade. As you can see, I'll go to 5 minutes. So on 5 minutes, these three candles. They actually should be three. They are the last down close candle before all these highs were swept. This one's here. So for me, this should be 5 minutes. Sorry, these three candles. They were the last down close candle before this price ran up and swept all these highs. So, and because this shows that London highs have been taken, I was expecting a sell to London lows somewhere around here. Yeah, around here. I can even see it has been taken, but my stop loss is on Asian low, and then there is a 1 hour fair value gap below the price. So I used when price closed below the breaker, I used the retest of the breaker, this one. Exactly, I waited for 950 macro. So during 950 to 1010, that is when I framed my entry around here, and this is my sell. Though I'm expecting market to take Asian lows maybe into this fair value gap for buys later, but currently this is what I have, and that is how I've framed my sell. So I've used the 5 minute, these three down close candle, and then this is liquidity sweep, this one, and then market closed below, and then this candle retest, though I'm expecting maybe the breaker block will be retested again for more sales. So that is how I've framed my sell. I should have taken some partials here, but I was away from my screen for a brief moment and I missed, because this is why I should take at least, I should have taken at least like 50% of my profit from there. So I'm only watching to see if price is going to retest the breaker again, and then we sell some more, unless anyone has a question. I did not participate in this. This would have been a very good sell from when market closed below this one, that order block, and then close below, retest with this candle. This would have been a very good sell to somewhere here, or to the London lows here, where price has turned from, would also have been a very, very nice sell. So, but I did not participate in that one. I usually want to trade from 10 mostly, because I've not mastered using the first presented fair value gap as such. So I stick to my model. Originally, because I did not expect price to come back above this breaker, my stop loss was, I think, 1,000, just above the breaker here. And then I moved it a bit when market now started selling downwards. I'm using the 1 minute chart still, even though my breaker is on 5 minute. I used the 1 minute chart to frame my sell. For the person who is saying that I am not using the 1 minute chart, that is what I'm currently using. So I'm waiting to see if, even though London lows have been swept, because all this is London lows. Midnight is here. Sorry, this is midnight. So these are London lows. The whole of the lowest point is that one. So I'm hoping you can see how what price did, came back all the way almost to London lows, and then went back to this bearish fair value gap. So price is currently there. I'm hoping London lows will be taken. I'm a bit ambitious with my take profit to Asian lows. But once London lows is taken, I'm going to take my 50% profit there and trail my stop loss. That is what I'm looking forward to. Unless anyone has a question. I only wanted to explain how I have framed the sale and the narrative that I hold against the sale. Someone is saying, but on higher time frame we are extremely bullish. We are at all-time highs fair value gap. How comes you had a sell bias? I myself took an L on bulls. Well, the market, let me remove this. Let me remove, I don't know what's happening. It's not responding. I want to remove the positions to kind of hide them. So let us look at 4 hours. So this was my narrative for the sell. Let me remove this. So my narrative for the sell was this. If you look at this candle swept this the previous 4-hour candle and then closed within it. And then if you look down here, we have a 4-hour fair value gap here, this one. So I was hoping the AM session would retrace into this 4-hour fair value gap before we make more buys. So this is what my bias was based on, because even if you look at here, even here, there is a small fair value gap. This can also be a target, this one. That is also a 4-hour fair value gap. So these are some of the areas I was looking for when framing my bias, even though I know we are extremely bullish on this market. And in most cases, we know that NQ fills gaps a lot of time before it continues with the trend. So this is something I was expecting. But the reason why this setup isn't really high probability is because you see this week, this one, I would have expected at least a retracement above to at least below 50%. And then our setup should have formed in this area here for sales, that one. This would have been the ideal place where the breaker and everything would have formed within this week. So the only reason I trusted this setup was because of this breaker that I had framed earlier on, and that is why I took my sell from there. To the person that is saying we are extremely bullish, that is why I took that sell. So we can look at this and see what's happening. Let me put back my position because I might want to take something off. If you look at this market, this is liquidity sweep above. I don't know if this fair value gap holds price, I might consider exiting the market. This one. Let us see. When you take your trade, do you take them based on macros? Yes, I take my trade. Like I told you, in this trade, I was waiting for 950 to 1010 macro. And as you can see, I entered my trade during macros. What breaker do you use for your 50% entry? 5 minutes, or I don't use 15-minute breaker unless I want to hold a trade for a very, very long time. That is when I use 15-minute breaker. I use 15-minute breakers to show me that maybe price has turned and it's bearish. So I'll drop down to 1 minute time frame and look for a bearish breaker inside the 15-minute. Actually, higher time frame breakers like 1 hour, 4 hours, they only help me to signify that, or to direct me that the market has changed. So whatever you do, if you want to sell on 1 minute breaker, you should sell the market, not buy, because there's a higher time frame breaker on 1 hour. So if there's a 1 hour breaker that has been violated, inside that 1 hour breaker, that is where I'll look for my 1 minute breaker for sales. So that is how I read the market using the higher time frame breakers. What breakers do you use for your 15 on? Can you take us through how you analyzed it from higher time? I've just done that. My narrative was only based on 4 hours only. Sorry. Let me I don't know what's happening to my internet. My internet has hanged.
Let us just be patient.
Internet yangu imemisbehave.
Let's just be patient so that it comes back.
Sorry guys, my internet is misbehaving. I don't know what's happening. So the market is currently in consolidation. I'm still hoping these London lows, like the last candle of London low, will be taken. I don't know. So someone had asked me a question. He's asking, I'm saying I used the 4-hour narrative, this one. I was hoping market will come to this fair value gap and this one down here before we continue for more buys. So that is what I framed my sell on. Only that. Hey Thanos, check your. Why should I check my positions? Can you take us through how? How do you trade all-time highs? So I'll be very honest. I don't like trading all-time highs market, and the reason is this: I don't know where to take profit from. But even though ICT taught that when the market is on all-time highs like this, you can take profit from whole numbers like 23,800, 20, like the whole numbers, or you can use the standard deviation to to frame where you're going to take your take profits from. Even Fib can help you with that. But then for me, that is not how I trade the higher time frame, the all-time highs. What I do is I will usually trade only market maker model. And this is what we call market maker model. For example, if let's say price was here, this is the all-time highs, this one now at this point. So what I'll do, I'll wait for market to retrace to an area of interest. Like in this case, it was deep inside an NWOG, and then I will buy back to take out the new liquidity that has formed around here. This is how I prefer trading the all-time highs, and this is the market maker buy model that I use. So I don't trade Hukuju up here. I wait for a retracement into a key level, and then I will go back to take out the new high that had been left. I find it easier trading all-time highs that way than second guessing where I'm going to take my profit from. So I prefer that than starting to guess. Or if there is really a good entry for highs, I'll target maybe a certain number of pips, like 50 or 100, and I exit the market. How do you approach the considering London and New York session? I only look at the market after 8:30. So, and then I look at what happened during London. What did London do? For example, if you look at this market from London, the whole of this is consolidation, manipulation, and then maybe we will take out these London highs and then continue buying to the all-time highs as the market is supposed to play, because we are extremely bullish on daily, and I don't think we are bullish on 4 hours. Nah, we are not bullish on 4 hours. So let me see. How do you approach? When do you use the first presented fair value gap? I'll show an example. I can only use the first presented fair value gap if it aligns with my bias, my higher time frame bias. For example, this market took out the London session highs here, and this was the first presented fair value gap here, this one, this. So because I'm not interested in trading all-time highs, there's no way I would have used this first presented fair value gap for more buys. Instead, I would have used it as an inversion here to sell to London lows if it gave me that opportunity. But when market closed below the order block, because I consider an order block a stronger PDRA than a fair value gap. So when the market closed below the order block to form a breaker, I knew that this whole thing, the inversion, this first presented, and let me first remove my some of my profit, guys. And then I'll move my stop loss to there and then hold the rest of the positions. So I knew this whole fair value gap and is going to be left as a breakaway gap. So that is why I was confident enough taking my trade from here instead of up here, even though sometimes we are told that your market should go back to premium for you to sell. You can see this one did not go to premium. Premium is here, above 50% is here. So that is why I was not expecting my market to come to premium because of this breaker. And you can see how powerful a breaker is. That is why I chose it as my model. That is what I'll be using to trade. So I only use the first presented fair value gap if it aligns with my higher time frame bias. For example, let us assume I wanted to sell to London lows. What I would have done is, and then the market did something like this, came up here, no fair value gap presented, and then came down, and then the first, let us assume this was the first presented fair value gap. And even though this is a breaker, I would have been confident entering from this first presented fair value gap because it aligns with my bias of selling up to the London lows, and that is my profit that has been executed. So I would have been confident taking this sell if this was my first presented fair value gap here. Let me put it in another color. This one. If this was my first presented fair value gap, which would have aligned with my bias of wanting to sell to London lows, I would have been confident taking the sell from around here if this was the first presented fair value gap. So that is the only time I use the first presented fair value gap, even though I'll admit I've not mastered using it. And then how do you approach? If a setup forms before 950 to 1010 macro, do you take it or still wait? In most cases, I take my setups from 10. 90% of the time, I take my setups from 10, unless I'm using the first presented fair value gap. That is when I might take a setup before 10. And then this one is asking, sometimes trading. Okay, what criteria do you use to exit when a trade is not panning out as expected? For example, I marked this fair value gap here, and I told you guys, if this fair value gap holds price, this one, I might exit my position. So when this happened and the market closed below the fair value gap, even this retracement did not scare me because this close below this fair value gap is already a sign that this market does not want to go up by using this fair value gap as a PDRA to push price up, because this is how someone else can read this price. Someone else will read this price like this. They will say, if the market is extremely bullish, they might come and say that this is, let us even use this. This is the last series of up close candle before this liquidity sweep. So when the market closed above, let us see, like this, when the market closed above the order block, some people might consider this as a breaker. So this fair value gap ideally should hold price for buys, but you see, it did not hold price for buys. What happens is price does not reverse without hitting a higher time frame PDRA. Every time you want your market to reverse, price must do something, and then let's say if it's a liquidity sweep into a higher time frame PDRA, that is something that price must do anytime you want your market to reverse. So when I looked at this, I asked myself, this candle, what higher time frame PDRA purpose did it fulfill? And then the fact that it had not swept London lows, that is why I disregarded this setup for buys. So, and you can see what the market is doing. So if I'm going to buy this market, I might wait for it to hit the 1 hour fair value gap, and it might consolidate here and then fall into the 1 hour fair value gap and then form a setup for buy. So there is no way the market will ever reverse without hitting a higher time frame PDRA. And that is one thing that I look for. And that is what I've used to disregard this setup, this liquidity sweep close above and this fair value gap. So I hope I've answered that question. Market maker lol, those highs look like candy. Yo, where do you place your stop loss when you are selling from discount breaker? You cannot sell from a discount breaker. How do you sell from, like, your dealing range? You cannot sell from a discount breaker. But to answer that, let me tell you this. If you're using a 5-minute breaker like this one, first of all, you can see this is a BPR, these buy side, sell side fair value gaps here. So this is a BPR. If you're using a 5-minute breaker and then you drop to 1 minute and you want to frame your setup, in most cases, like you can see this, this breaker is actually, this one is actually on the sorry, nimepotea. It's actually on the discount side of this price leg, but it is because my TP is here, it is actually on the premium side of my dealing range from where this 1 hour fair value gap. It's actually on the premium side of the dealing range of where I want my price to be. So when you sell in a discount, your stop loss is going to be wide, and I said this last time. So you're going to have an RR of 1:1, or maybe 1:1.5, or even have a negative RR in that case. So that is why I said if you're selling from a discount breaker, that is a low probability trade, or that is a trade that is going to hurt you in the long run. Nimeingia short kwa hiyo retracement ya fair value gap TP taken. Oh, this one, that's nice. Someone has taken a trade from here, which is a good run, the fastest run. So I don't see any other questions, so I think I'll give back the mic to the owner. Shadi. Where is Macaulay? Elezea lunch lows and highs. Lunch lows and highs. Let me take you through a trade I took yesterday. So I took this trade last night. Let me show you. So this was yesterday's PM session. What happened is AM session sold, and then lunch highs. We all know that ICT taught us that lunch starts from noon here. So this is where lunch started, from this red line to 1:30. So you start framing your setup from 1:30. There. So this is the lunch liquidity here. This is the lunch high, this one, and this is the lunch low, this one here. So what happened after 1:30, price came and took out this the lunch lows here, but it did not take out this low. Actually, I realized that this was the low of the day yesterday. So price came and took out these lunch lows here. So this would have been This is what I used as my breaker, and I'll show you the trade. But then I waited for 2 p.m. I could not have taken my trade when it's not macro time. So I took my trade from 350 macro to buys, targeting the lunch lows, the lunch highs here and above. You can see this one here. So what you do, if you're bullish and you want to trade the PM session, ideally the market should take your lunch lows if you're bullish, in order for you to buy to the lunch highs and beyond. If you're bearish, the market should first take out your lunch highs and then you trade going towards the lunch lows. But then this trade was not a very clear trade to me. You can see I've not even removed this line still, because I was expecting these two lows to be taken out into this 1 hour order block for me to frame a buy. So I wasn't really sure about this until macro time came. But I'll be very honest, this trade felt like a gamble to me. Even if you see the way I've journaled that trade, this is 20 hours ago. I think it might be this one. Let me see. I don't know if I have it here. Yes, this is the trade. You can see I took the trade from here and then went all the way to TP. You can see I wasn't confident. I've written here, I wasn't confident enough with the market, with the marked breaker on this trade, because there was no convincing liquidity sweep down there. So one thing, you have to be very brutal with yourself when journaling these things, because this is something that you are supposed to grow from. You can see this is my journal for that trade. This is the whole trade. It went all the way to TP, and you can see I had taken some positions off here. So I wrote here, I wasn't confident enough with the marked breaker on this trade because there was no convincing liquidity sweep down there. I held this trade out of intuition, which is not a good thing to do, even though it has played out. This is a luck and intuition trade. I did not have a strong narrative built up. And then here, I wrote that I was banking on 1550 macro to either take me out or play out. So this was a gamble trade to me. This is not something I can be proud of and say that I built a narrative and took this trade. So but to answer the question, this is how you mark lunch highs, lunch lows, wait for liquidity sweep of one side, identify a breaker, and then you buy to the other side. So that is how I framed that is how you frame the lunch lows and highs for the guy that is asking. What happens when there is a breaker above an inversion also? So if I am, let us use this 5-minute breaker, this one, and then let us assume price has closed below the breaker, and I am expecting price to retrace into this breaker for me to sell all the way to down here. So if something like this happens, if the market comes back and comes into this fair value gap, I will not enter that short. I will wait for price. Price will always do something like this. It will come and close below again, and then now respect the breaker and then do what? Sell again. I find it safer this way than me taking a trade here and then maybe my breaker has been disrespected and price continues to go up. So when I am trusting a breaker and price comes above it to a PDRA, maybe like this fair value gap or this, the whole BPR, I'll usually wait for, I feel safe waiting for price to close down below again, and then do a retracement and then now sell the way I wanted to sell the market. I find it safer that way, because there's so many times I've taken trades above the breaker or below the breaker when I'm buying, and I get wrecked. So I find it safer that way. Can we review yesterday's price action? Which one, PM or AM session? So you can see this, it's coming all the way to 1 hour order block. Would you take a trade before 9:30? Yes, I've taken trades before 9:30 open, but in most cases, I find myself exiting when it's like a minute to 9:30 if I don't trust the trade. But there are some trades that I usually hold even with 9:30 open, and I usually hold a 9:30 open trade if 8:30 was used to manipulate. I know that 9:30 will be used to distribute price further. It chopped my stop loss and it will. You want a folder of my trading journal? Ooh. I don't know. I wanted to post that on X. Unfortunately, I left X and I'm not coming back. So I don't know how to get that. But there's a guy who has my charts. He's called Kerosi. You can get them from him. What happens when there's a breaker above? I've answered that. AM session. Marion wants us to go through what happened yesterday during AM session. Yesterday was 28th. Where is it? 28th. This is let us see. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I took a trade during the AM session. We can cut our price to we can maybe cut our price to 9:30 and see what happened. Honestly, I don't remember if I took. No, I did not take a trade yesterday during AM session. So, and I did not even review it at night. Uh, I don't know what happened, honestly. I unless I don't know what happened yesterday during the AM session. I took a trade only during the PM session, but I was expecting price to drop to NWOG. I don't know if that is what happened. Marion, um, let us see. Let us mark the. This is NWOG. This was where is Friday's close? Friday's close is down here. So this is NWOG low. Let me label it. My chart is very dirty. Let me remove them. This is NWOG low here. And then NWOG high is where the market opened. There. So this is high. So yesterday during 9:45, I think price dropped into the NWOG. Personally, I don't know if I would have taken a trade yesterday because for me to expect market to come to half of the NWOG, I would have maybe wanted it to stall around here, and then after 9:30 maybe manipulate to this fair value gap up here, and then sell to come to half of NWOG. So I don't think I would have taken a trade yesterday because I don't even know what happened. I was not at home yesterday, and I didn't. Unfortunately, I had not checked it, and I don't know how I would have framed a sale, to be honest. So unfortunately, I don't know what I would have done yesterday. So market, as we can see now, market has come back to NWOG high. Unfortunately, I've deleted all my marked charts. How did you grow in lot size? Nimehenga an edge, but I'm chopped off most of the time. Niki lower risk and feel like dying. Well, let me say this. One thing people don't understand is press shift, plus F. Shift F. Is it full now? I don't know if it is full. Let me say this. Your lot size is proportional to your account. That is one thing people should know. You cannot want to put or to use a lot size of 20 if you have an account of $1,000. You're going to wreck yourself. So for me, what I can say is my lot size grew with how I grew my account. There was and Macaulay is a witness. There was times when we used to use a lot size of 0.5, a lot size of 1. He has seen me graduating from 1, 5, 10, all the way to the maximum Nasdaq is allowing me right now. But it's proportional to your account size, and you have to have a really good edge for you to want to use a lot size of 100, because even with a big account, if your strategy is not working, you're going to wreck yourself. You've seen my stop loss was, I don't know if it was, my first stop loss was 1,000. That is not little money to lose every day if you don't have an edge. It's a lot of money. So what I can say is don't graduate your lot size if you are not growing your account consistently. You have to grow your account consistently for you to use a big lot size. You graduate that, and also when you have a good edge, it gives you confidence when you are executing. The way you've seen me, I've seen someone was telling me to check my position because maybe they got scared that this retracement here was going to take me out. But then I've learned to trust my breaker. If this is the breaker that I had used, this is the breaker that I had used. This was the breakup block for 5 minutes. The only way I can exit this market is when this breaker has been violated. So if you have a system that you really trust, even lot size doesn't really matter. Your lot size doesn't matter if your system is okay. You can use any lot size because you know this trade, I've followed my rules and it's going to pan out. And then your system also helps you come up with a very good risk management. You cannot have a system that maybe you're risking 10% of your account anytime and you call it a system. You come up with something that even your risk management is really, really good. For example, me placing a stop loss above here, even though it's this one is on discount side of this leg, I was still confident because of I know that my breaker should hold price to go lower. And when I see something like this is a high here, and then this is a lower high here. You can see how it's graduating from half, below half, and then outside the breaker to selling. So these are some of the things or some of the signatures that I see in the market that I know I'm going to trust the PDRA that I am using to frame my trade. So lot size really doesn't matter. Develop your system. Have a very strong or a model that you trust, or a model that wins at least 50% of the time. And then you can graduate to any lot size you want because your model has already given you confidence. How do you come out of a drawdown? I believe I had explained that on X when I had an account, a 100K account that was on a drawdown of around 6%. So you reduce your lot size to 0.5. Not lot size, sorry. Your risk, if you're risking 0.5, you reduce it to 0.3 until, let's say you are on 5% drawdown. You will reduce your risk to 0.3 until you are now on a drawdown of 2.5, and then go back to 0.5 until you're out of drawdown. Use the 0.5 until you're up like 2%. Then maybe you can up your risk once you have profits in your account. So that is how you get, personally, that is how I get out of a drawdown. You make trading look easy, but would you say has a bad PA compared to NQ? No, I wouldn't say US 500 has a bad. The only bad thing I hate about US 500 is its lot sizing. For example, you can see on this trade, I've made like $6,000. If it was this, I would have made half of what I've made here. I don't know what's up with the lot sizing of NQ. If I used 100 lots here, I would have made less money than I have made here. But you can see it's PA, it's clean, it's clean also. It's the same as this one, the one for Nasdaq, because even though I don't know what I would have framed as a breaker on this, because there is no liquidity. You can see Nasdaq swept the highs. US 500 failed to sweep the high. So for me, this is SMT divergence. This one. This was a very good SMT for reversal. This is a sign that the market is reversing. So the PA is good, but I don't like the lot sizing. Close. There was a new model you were testing before you. I am in model test 20, and I wasn't testing. I was doing my model again for I was doing 200 trades to see what my win rate would be, and I am in number 20. How long have you taken in the market before you became pro? I'm in my 5th year, and I can say I've been profitable for the last like roughly 2.5 hapo, mostly 2 years. I can say that. The other years I was in trenches with we were in trenches with Macaulay. So I don't see any more questions. So I think I'll hand over the stream back to the owner, and it's always nice having you guys here. Maybe on Thursday we can do, I can be in the live earlier than when I've already taken a trade, and we can take a trade together. But mjue, if we take the same trades, and especially for those people who are on funded account, you're going to be banned. If there are 5 people who are trading FTMO or funded next or Alpha Capital, and we take the same entry and same exit, you're going to be accused of group trading, and you're going to be chased away from the prop firm. That is what Alpha Capital accused me of, even though I was doing copy trading of my own accounts, and they refused to pay me a huge amount of money. So when I take live trades, don't blame me when you get banned by prop firm, because we took the same positions and we are using Kerosi anakataa kuwape. He was doing the work while you people were bantering. He was collecting my charts. These are my journal. If you look at my screen, I have my model test here. I have trades of me breaking my rules here. This is me tape reading. These are my live trades. This is my model. This is my chart journal. These are psychology spaces. These are my prop firm payouts. This is market maker model, the ones that I trade. And now all these others are ICT mentorships that I use to do my own things with. So I'm sorry guys. Unfortunately I'm not coming back to it. So that's it for today. Let me give back the stream to Marcolin, and it's nice having you guys here.
All right. Thank you, THANOS, for All right. Thank you, Thanos, for the nice presentation. I hope everybody has learned. So you guys can say something to Thanos in the comment section. He has taught you a lot. I'm a beneficiary of the same. He started in the year 2023, mid 2023. So I've been a student for quite some time, and I've benefited from that. So you can have that as well. That is it. So we meet tomorrow, same time, same place. Yeah, that is it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching.